And the only reason I am highlighting this person because I went into his chat yesterday and I was silenced. And you guys know how Slimy feels about being silenced. If you see Slimy in your chat and you'll try to play these games with me, I will make sure to highlight you on my program. So today we talk about traitors to the country of Trinidad and Tobago. I have so many slides, I need to organize this better. When do you want me to get off, honey? Let's talk about traitors. Now we're gonna start heading into the main section of the program. After this I'll wrap it up because it is 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm being yelled at. So 2025, the topic is traitors. You have Maria Corina Machado, the Nobel Peace Prize winner, who by the way is banned from Venezuela. She got kicked out of the country and she's on the world stage stirring up all this mess for Maduro to clean up. This lady here actually is a persona non grata in Venezuela. She cannot set foot back into the country. So 2025 Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado is now saying Hamas is in Venezuela as an argument for US invasion. So when you see, oh my God, I don't have this transition up. That's why I need an interactive chat. Andy Williams. Welcome, Andy. Andy, welcome. Wendell, I'm about to talk to you in a little while. Hang on there. We're talking about traitors to Trinidad and Tobago. And funny how we say that as soon as we mention traitors, Andy Williams just pops up in the chat. I don't know if this is the real Andy Williams or if it's the Andy Williams Mr. Pitbull. But let's have a conversation. I am man enough to handle you mano a mano, and you know what, Andy? You will never get blocked in this chat because I'm more man than you. You hear me, Andy? I am Slimy, this little Slimy, the name that you people gave me. I used to be Raul Glasgow. You gave me this name. So now I'm here to terrorize you. So welcome, Andy. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the welcome to the Workers' Right 868 chat. We're about to get into our main presentation on traitors to Trinidad and Tobago. So ladies and gentlemen, let's speak about misinformation and people that in your country that delivers misinformation to you. Let's go.
We are aligning ourselves, and we should align ourselves with the United States of America. Now, while I am saying that right here in Trinidad and Tobago, that I 100%
Start over. In case you didn't hear this nonsense at the start.
We are aligning ourselves, and we should align ourselves with the United States of America. Now, while I am saying that right here in Trinidad and Tobago, that I 100% support Kamala Persad-Bissessar, and I support Kamala Persad-Bissessar's aligning Trinidad or putting Trinidad and Tobago in a strategic place with the United States. Persons across in Venezuela technically saying the same thing. And as I said, who feels it, knows it. The people of Venezuela who are actually feeling it knows the reality.
Listen to this nonsense.
In Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro is a dictator. That man there, he is a dictator. And I will say it loud and clear.
Look at this image that they're presenting. I want to show you this right here. Look at this. These evil, nasty people. Come on, Slide. Do work. Do your work. Notice that as soon as he said dictator, he pulled up a image of Nicolas Maduro with a cutlass. That video is actually from a clip where Mr. Maduro was actually doing some agricultural presentation to the people. So pay attention to this political kobo, right? Andy, I'll get to you in a minute. You don't know what you said. I know everything that I'm saying because I actually, unlike you, study. And Andy, you know better. You know better, Andy. You're not a stupid man. You're a smart man. One thing I would say about you, Andy, is you're not stupid like Lennox. Lennox, you could say he's an old man, and maybe he don't know the stuff that he's talking about. Maybe he's going on information that he learned when he was a child, that Venezuela is a bad this and all this nonsense that he spews to you people. Lennox, I could get away. I could let slide. But you, Andy, you know better. Because me and you used to chat personally, and I used to send you all of this global politics stuff. I used to send you on a daily basis. So you should be up to date. You know you're up to date with everything, and you know better, but you're still choosing to lie to the people. You piece of shit. What's that, baby?
America. Now,
Hang on.
while we are
Moment's done.
I am saying that right here in Trinidad and Tobago that I 100% support Kamala Persad-Bissessar, and I support Kamala Persad-Bissessar's aligning Trinidad or putting Trinidad and Tobago in a...
Don't worry about the 6 people. Like I said, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. The 6 patriots are up watching me at 4 o'clock in the morning. And we're learning about Andy Williams. And this guy here. What is this guy's name? Kobo, the political Kobo. We're learning about you.
The United States. Persons are crossing Venezuela.
Your own words are what is going to sink you. And you know why your viewers are dropping, Andy? Because as yours drop, mine will rise. Because I am telling truth to the people. I am not just delivering propaganda. And you caused this because you're such a weak man. You like to block people. You caused this onto yourself. So now your words are going to be used against you. I'm going to make a clown of you.
People of Venezuela who are actually feeling it knows the reality that they are facing in Venezuela. Nicolas Maduro is a dictator. That man there, he is a dictator. And I will say it loud and clear.
Give me half an hour, baby.
Anytime. That man is a dictator. And we all know, come back, we all know that in 2024, for the Venezuelan election, people can say it was not a fair and free election.
Lie.
Stole it.
Lie.
That is the man that person's aligning with and want to align with here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Lie.
We want to say we want peace, while dictatorship going on just 7 miles off our coastline. Imagine that. We stand up in Cedros.
This is the nonsense. This is the misinformation that you people would actually listen to, and you would think this man is a journalist and he's reporting honestly to you. He is not.
In Venezuela. Right there, next door to us, we have a dictator on our shores. We had one right here in Trinidad, but thank God we voted them out. We took pattern from Tobago because Tobago voted out the PNM first, right? And then Trinidad did. But what's going on in Venezuela affects us. And to be clear, I'm only mentioning it simply because apparently people they don't know about it. But I frankly do not care at all. I really don't. What I care about is Trinidad and Tobago. And what Kamala Persad-Bissessar cares about is Trinidad and Tobago.
Does Kamala Persad-Bissessar care about Trinidad and Tobago?
How many times we have to...
Does Kamala Persad-Bissessar care about Trinidad and Tobago? Ah? Does Kamala Persad-Bissessar care about Trinidad and Tobago? After Venezuela just licked these sanctions on us, what did Kamala Persad-Bissessar say? She said, oh, it doesn't affect me in my life. It doesn't prevent her from getting new saris. It doesn't affect her. But what maybe she doesn't understand is she is the leader, she is the representative, she is the top salesman of Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this clown.
Stick in the brains of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and particularly the opposition as well. But Kamala Prasad-Bissessar is saying that we're not really, we don't, in Trinity terms, we not business what's going on across it. I know we business. Kamala is drinking her water and minding her own
She's
business.
drinking her rum.
And the business that she's minding.
Her now expensive rum that she don't got to pay for, that you pay for.
In doing so, what Kamala Prasad-Bissessar is saying is that the drugs that come in from Venezuela, the guns that come in from Venezuela, the illicit trade that goes on between Trinidad and Venezuela, we need to stop it.
What illicit trade is this man talking about? Didn't the Trinidad and Tobago government signed some kind of agreement with the Venezuelan government regarding this so-called illicit trade that this man is talking about, that this political kobo is talking about? I don't want to use too much inflammatory language. Huh? Because I remember hearing something somewhere that the Trinidad and Tobago government, because of the commerce that happens between the two borders, with these two, with the boats and all this stuff, didn't Trinidad and Tobago sign an agreement with Venezuela where that could happen? So why is this being now labeled as illicit by this dunce that has a platform? Andy, I'll get to you in a minute. Just hold strain, boy. Give me like half an hour. I'm coming to you.
Is by engaging with our partners, the United States, for assistance. That is why the warship came to Trinidad and Tobago, but not even to declare war on anybody. That ship was here to give children.
To build schools. You hear that? The ship was there to build schools earlier. And this is the message this man is paid to push out to you.
Joint actions with the U.S. military and Trinidad military. And don't think for 1 second that it is Kamala Prasad-Bissessar that allowed it. It's Keith Rowley, 2024. He signed off. U.S. could put troops in Trinidad and Tobago. What if X for? But, as I was saying, who feels it, knows it, Trinidad and Tobago. A Venezuelan woman would have spoken out on this matter, and
that is what we're going to highlight next. So we're going to get into traitors of the country of Venezuela and traitors of the country of Trinidad and Tobago. So with everything you know about Venezuela that I've taught you in the past few lives that I've been on, I want you to listen to this person. This one right here. Pay attention to her words and how she's inviting destruction onto her country. Kind of like UNC supporters, right? What is it with them?
Maduro said that
with these kind of people.
Is on the
I gotta pee. Hold on 1 second.
History. Well,
I'll be right back.
She's basically starting a war in the Caribbean, and that is far-fetched for me to even think about. But again, a Venezuelan would have spoken out on this matter, and I think it is reminiscent of me to play what they are saying across there in Venezuela. And those that are really censored or not given a chance to hear their views. And just so therefore you know as well, Trinidad and Tobago, persons that speak out against Nicolas Maduro, they are jailed for speaking out against him in Venezuela. But that's not my words. This lady said it.
I want to talk about what's happening in Venezuela and give some context from an actual Venezuelan. Maduro, bad. Trump, bad. Getting rid of Maduro, good. An American intervention into Venezuela, bad. Now you're going to see a lot of Venezuelans who seem to be in support of this American intervention, not because we're naive or because we don't understand what it could mean. Nobody wants to be bombed by the Yanks, okay? But that should give you an idea as just how desperate Venezuelans are. Maduro is not the legal president of Venezuela. He lost the 2024 election to Edmundo Gonzalez. That is an indisputable fact. But this isn't so much about the nitty-gritty of the politics as much as it is about the effects of those politics on the people. Imagine this. You wake up, there's no water, as usual. The lights have been out for about 10 hours. Your fridge starts to smell because the power keeps going out. So you're like, okay, I'm going to go out and buy some new food. You get there and the food is even more expensive than it was before. Food has gone up 21.9% in price since just last October. Actually, food prices have gone up 12,000% since 2009. So that's like a tomato being worth $1. Now that same tomato is worth $12,000. That's how crazy the food situation is in Venezuela. These rolling blackouts, too, that I mentioned have a huge effect on the hospital systems. Often, you will be in the middle of surgery and the electricity goes off. So you have a country where you have very little access to food, and we know little access to food usually means a huge increase in crime. That has happened in Venezuela. You have a dangerous country, you don't have access to food, water, electricity, and your hospital systems have been terrible. On top of these brutal living conditions, you have this political violence hovering on top of you. If you speak out about what's happening, you are very likely to be disappeared into El Helicoide, which is the largest torture center in the Americas. In July of 2024 came Operation Tuntun. So basically the government would come knocking on your door if you made any posts that were against the government. And if your neighbors outed you for being out protesting, you would be likely to be kidnapped and sent to this torture center. In just the month of July 2024, 1,900 political prisoners were taken. Those numbers have gone up to over 3,000, most of those being youth and most of those being underage girls. Since 2014, there has been 17,888 politically motivated arrests in Venezuela. More than 8 million Venezuelans have fled the country. Our families are scattered across the world because we can't safely live home. And back in Venezuela, the regime allows mining that is tearing apart the Orinoco Delta, poisoning rivers with mercury and displacing indigenous people, allowing miners to go into...
All right, you listening to all these lies from this traitor to the whole country that this man is presenting to you? Let's go over. I want to actually go over her lies one by one. Let's start out here.
Out for about 10 hours. Your fridge starts to smell because the power keeps going out.
All right.
So you're like, okay.
The power keeps going out because the CIA keeps attacking power plants in Venezuela. Right? That's one. In addition to when all of this stuff first started with the sanctions against Venezuela, they had problems getting energy into the country because of the sanctions, where all trade with the country was stopped. Right, so that's when they had these roving power outages, and then you had the CIA conducting operations in country where they was blowing up like oil supply depots. They were blowing up electrical plants and all of this nonsense. So this lady here is from the 15% side of the opposition that Garland Nixon spoke about, that is actually inviting U.S. invasion into her country. A traitor to her country. And this is what this Trinidadian presenter chooses to present to the people of Trinidad and Tobago in order to educate them, right? But how is he educating you when this is the kind of nonsense that he chooses to play for you?
Food is even more expensive than it was before. Food has gone up 21.9% in price since just last October. Actually, food prices have gone up 12,000% since 2009. So that's like a tomato.
So she's mixing lies and truth, lies and truth, lies and truth. All of that stuff. Venezuela is 99% food sufficient, where they no longer have a food import bill. They get food in country. So food prices in Venezuela are actually very, very cheap. Very, very cheap. So don't, while you may have had those price spikes at the beginning when the sanctions were first instituted, that doesn't exist today. It does not.
Tomato being worth $1, now that same tomato
Lies.
is worth $12,000.
Lies.
That's how crazy the food situation is in Venezuela.
Lies.
These rolling blackouts, too, that I mentioned, have a huge effect on the hospital systems. Often, you will be in the middle of surgery and the electricity goes off.
So then tell the CIA to stop bombing your hospitals. I'm not hospitals, but stop bombing your electrical plants or electrical infrastructure.
Country where you have very little access to food.
Traitor to her country.
Little access to food,
And this man chooses to show this, to present this to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
You have a dangerous country. You don't have access to food, water, electricity, and your hospital systems have
Lies.
on top of these brutal living conditions, you have this political violence hovering on top of you. If you speak out about what's happening, you are very likely to be disappeared into El Helicoide, which is the largest torture center in the Americas. In July of 2024 came Operation Tuntun. So basically, the
Tuntun?
government would come knocking on your door if you made any posts that were against the government.
Lies.
And if your neighbors outed you for being out protesting, you would be likely to be kidnapped and
And let's listen to what she's saying. If your neighbors outed you for out protesting, I spoke about this before. If your neighbors outed you for going to a protest that the CIA and the United States set up, you become a traitor to your country. Get it? Understanding this? Understanding this.
sent to this torture center. In just the month of July 2024, 1,900 political prisoners were taken. Those numbers have gone up to over 3,000.
That I think is a lie. That I can't verify.
And most of those being underage girls. Since 2014, there has been 17,888 politically motivated arrests in Venezuela. More than 8 million Venezuelans have fled the country. Our families are scattered across the world because we can't.
And while she may deliver some statistics that are true, she's not delivering the real reasons why. I notice her little tears, the crocodile tears, where she wants to deliver her message with emotion.
And back in Venezuela,
Traitor to her freaking country.
That is tearing apart the Orinoco Delta, poisoning.
And she is most likely part of the elite class, part of the 1% that is actually inviting this nonsense. So pay attention to the host. You should be you shouldn't be upset with this lady here. She's just doing what she's paid for. But the focus on this is the person that is presenting this to you.
Rivers with mercury and displacing indigenous people, allowing miners to go into indigenous territories.
Yes, let's talk about that. Essequibo, the indigenous territory that she's talking about. The territory that Venezuela agreed to in 1969 that will be untouched, that is supposed to be untouched. The people that are going into the Essequibo and violating and doing all of this nonsense is who? Guyana. Right? So what is this woman talking about? And why is, once again, I want you to swing back to the presenter, to the host. Why is he presenting this video to the people of Trinidad and Tobago when he wants to when he chooses to educate you about what is happening in Venezuela? Why does he choose to present this video to you, Trinidad and Tobago?
Kidnapping and human trafficking indigenous women. So when you see Venezuelans expressing support for an invasion, please understand, no one wants to be invaded, especially not by a country with such a brutal, violent global history. The Venezuelans are
traitor to her country.
Our hope is real. But underneath that hope is fear, exhaustion, and deep sadness for having to survive this horrific, violent, corrupt dictatorship. So please give us some space to feel all these emotions. Venezuelans aren't dumb. We are hardworking people who just want the best, like everyone else, to live a normal life. Thanks for listening.
Well,
So when you listen to that, it might be heart-wrenching or whatever, but listen to the lies and focus on the lies underneath, and then go back to this demon that chooses to present that message to you. She's so hurt and emotional. She wants the United States to come save her because Venezuela is running out of options. Venezuela's economy this year is slated to grow 8%. How many countries on this planet have growth in the single percentage range? In this time, in this global economy that we have, what countries are actually growing? Venezuela is slated to grow almost 9%. So Venezuela got their shit in order. Venezuela is good. Venezuela is now self-sufficient. Venezuela is doing good without the United States. Okay? So now, when you have a host coming to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and trying to push this information out to you,
and they talk zone of peace,
especially if you're in the United States, because this is something, if you're in the United States, I know it is very hard to get news on what's happening back home. Do not listen to these people. This is not a news source. I mean, you could go on there and get in a chat and talk shit and kick the willy bobo, but when it comes to actually reporting news, reporting accurate information, anything this host will say, and just look where I paused on the words, zone of peace, zone of peace. What does zone of peace mean? Did this host even take the time out of any his show to explain what that means? That the zone of peace is basically our area is not supposed to be a war zone.
Peace, Mayor Motley, Gonzales, Jamaica, all.
And he's talking about great leaders. Why is he?
Of them,
You know,
zone of peace, zone of peace, zone of peace.
oh my God, this is so hard.
That feels
You
it,
demons have to pay.
knows it. There's a bunch of Venezuelans across in Venezuela that is not in support of the invasion or a pending invasion or the U.S. doing anything in Venezuela, but they want Maduro gone. So therefore, they are in support of it, just because.
So then you should have, then if you wanted Maduro gone, then you should have gone to the elections and voted him out. Right? If you wanted Maduro gone, Venezuela had elections last year. You should have mobilized enough people on your side to go vote this man out.
Jamaica, all
Why does the United States have to come in to fix your losing party's problems? You didn't have enough power to bring the people to your side. So now you want the United States to come in and invade your country, and this piece of shit, this political kobo, was sent out to misinform you. So he's lying to you about what's happening in Venezuela, so that you in Trinidad can support the position that your prime minister is taking against Venezuela. Up to this day, your prime minister can't admit that Maduro is the legitimate leader of Venezuela. Up to this day.
Across in Venezuela that is not in support of the invasion or a pending invasion or the U.S. doing anything in Venezuela, but they want Maduro gone. So therefore, they are in support of it, just because. Y'all understand?
Do you understand? Next up, ladies and gentlemen, the main round. Dun dun dun.